Okay, for today we are looking into how to want to develop your research questionnaire and download for my Padlet. Padlet yang saya bagi tu okey dah? Dapat tak? Okay, fine, Padlet. Boleh dapat. Ini saya dah sharekan dalam dalam group. Okay, we open up development into research question or questionnaire. This one, particular questionnaire. Let's start. Ano tayo sa bagi? Oh, betul. Sudah apa? Anggota? Oh, tak. Tinggal boleh nampak tak?
Boleh nampak data, Doktor.
So we are looking how you want to develop effective research question. This one is important because some of you might go for interviews. Jadi saya dapat lagi untuk okay, the questionnaire is I think one of the most common instruments that they use in research, especially if you are in educational social sciences and technology related study. However, okay, developing a good research question is not simply about writing many questions. Oh, tak boleh masuk ni? Tengok enter my link, Google Meet ni. Oh, boleh masuk kan? Okay, first, effective questionnaire must be reliable. Reliability means the question or the questionnaire can be produced with consistent result. Okay, for example, if same group respondent answer the questionnaire at a different time, the response should be quite similar as long as the opinion have not been changed. To improve the reliability, a researcher or the student must use a clear wording, avoid some confusing questions, and ensure all the items under one construct measure the same concept. Okay, if you have a construct, you can use one or two. Okay, you can develop from the construct. Where to define the construct, you can find from your research question that align to your research objective. Okay. What is questionnaire? Okay. Boleh dapat?
Nampak.
Okay, this one, what is questionnaire? questionnaire is one of the most common instruments that used in research, especially in education, and that help the researcher to collect some information from the collected group, okay, in a structured and systematic way. That's all. Okay, definition of questionnaire. First, we look at the definition. Questionnaire is a tool used to collect information from a specific targeted group. In simple words, you can say that a questionnaire is a set of questions that are prepared by a researcher to get response from the participant. You all kena buat questionnaire tu, ada tak buat ni, survey? Ada buat survey tak?
Belum lagi doktor, yang buat tu masa degree.
Tapi kena buat lah kan?
Ya, ya.
For example, if a researcher want to study lecturer acceptance of AI chatbot in teaching, the researcher may prepare questionnaire and distribute it to the lecturer. And then the lecturer will answer the question based on the knowledge, attitude, experience, and also actual usage of AI chatbot in the classroom. Questionnaire sometimes is very useful because it allows the researcher to collect some data from the many respondents within a short period of time. For example, if you are in mode A or mode B or mode C, you have only 2 months to collecting the data. You need to prepare your questionnaire earlier. Okay, for example, a respondent may ask to be rated their level of agreement using the 5 different scales. For example, strongly disagree, neutral, agree, and strongly agree. Okay, what is the purpose? Purpose is help the researcher to describe, compare, or explain. Okay, or explain an event, situation, knowledge, attitude, behavior, or demographic characteristics, for example, male and female, and also social economic status. This means questionnaire is not only used to ask simple questions, it also used to understand a research problem more clearly. For example, in educational research, a questionnaire can be used to track student learning, motivation, compare the digital skills of different groups, teacher, explain the factor of influence, teacher, acceptance of AI chatbot, and so on. There are several purposes of using questionnaire. First, it helps the researcher to know the knowledge. Okay? Know the knowledge. So, for example, how much do lecturers know about AI chatbot? Okay. Second, it also helps the researcher to understand the attitude, behavior, social demographic. This may include gender, teaching experience, and so on. Okay, the example, a lecturer acceptance of AI chatbot in teaching. Okay, this example is about lecturer acceptance of AI chatbot in teaching. In this case, the researcher used a questionnaire to collect information about 4 main areas. The first area is lecture and knowledge of AI chatbot. Okay. The second area is lecture attitude towards AI chatbot. Okay. We can ask, example, I believe AI chatbot can improve the quality of my teaching preparation. Okay. And then another section, maybe you can add, I use chatbot to generate teaching material, give question, provide the explanation for students, and so on. Okay, connect. Now this is what attitude, you have attitude, you have actual qualities. Okay, so the questionnaire can help the researcher to understand who are the lecturers, what they know, how they feel, okay, and what we have. Ada soalan ni? Ya, okay. So begitu pada step by step. We have three main structured way to define the questionnaire. The first one, we look into the broad topic. You have the your thesis topic, you can use the broad topic. And then make sure that you have the research end. Here is your research objective. Make sure you have a broad statement of intent. Okay? For example, to explore the effect of climate change on the marine life in Southern Africa. Okay, you can have the broad, but for the research question, okay, you must specify how does the ocean acidification caused by climate change affect the reproduction of reef of South Africa coral reef. This one is your research question. Okay, where is the research questionnaire? Kat mana letaknya research questionnaire? Okay, the research questionnaire you can add below the research question. Okay, for example, rising sea temperature has reduced coral reef health. Climate change has changed the breeding pattern of marine species. Okay, you can choose either strongly disagree, neutral, agree, strongly agree, and so on. Basically, the direction is like this. From the broad topic to the research end, to the research objective and research question. Dekat last kali, barulah research question. Okay, after this, below here, the target one is your research question. Research questionnaire. Ask you for questionnaire. Okay, step by step funnel. You can have a broad beginning, effort and refine and focus specify. You need to specify the needs. Okay, identify the gap. Okay, the gap they have so many gaps. Last week saya dah explain kan, saya ada berapa gap? Saya ada 8 gap. Saya ada apa? Knowledge gap. Saya ada empirical gap. Lagi apa? Methodological gap. Ini lagi apa? Okay, this one is important because we need a knowledge gap means something is not clearly understood in the literature. For questionnaire development, and this means the researcher may need to design questionnaire items before existing knowledge is still limited. The construct is existing knowledge is limited. Okay, example, many studies discuss about the AI chatbot usage among students, but limited study explain what specific factor that influence natural intention to use AI chatbot in Asia. How to relate to questionnaire? First, we need to have construct. Yang tadi ni kena buat dulu. You need to explain first, okay, the content, okay, and then secondly, is you need to have a construct. What is construct? Construct is the pillar of your research questionnaire item. For example, if you construct is ethical concern, the central questionnaire item will be I am concerned about the student misuse AI chatbot. And then if you use the empirical gap, okay, for example, population, the questionnaire rule is for lecturer. You can have the questionnaire item like I intend to use AI chatbot regularly in my teaching related activities. That one is empirical focus. But if you are in methodological gap, okay, means from a previous study have used method that may be limited or incomplete, you can have methodological need existing item to generate. You can have added item to AI chatbot contact. Okay. Okay. For example, you can say that The knowledge gap is what is unknown. Empirical gap, what is evident is still lacking. Methodology gap, what is weak in previous method. Okay, ada apa-apa soalan tu? Untuk questionnaire, methodological gap, nanti saya akan bagi. Sekejap lagi saya akan tunjuk. Methodological gap, normally, that I said before is what you need to justify developing and validating the questionnaire. For example, for such methodological gap, you can say that AI is not fully validated methodologically for AI chatbot usage in Malaysia higher education. You can say like that. The next is write the research question. You can write the research question based on your research gap. Please identify first your research gap, and then try to have try to develop construct. Okay, later I show to you how you want to develop the construct. Okay, and then write the research question like this. What effect does daily use of X, internal external X have on the attention span of people in the age of 15 to 20? Okay, ada soalan tu setakat ni? Okay ke? Okay, for research question, you need to have two types, either the quantitative or qualitative. Quantitative means you are working on numbers. Okay. Qualitative, you need to understand the person feeling, for example, experiences. Okay. To explore. Okay, this one, avoid yes or no question. Okay, this one is very important. You need to avoid yes or no. That one is closed question. Okay, and then please go for subtype, descriptive, okay, comparative and correlational. Descriptive, comparative and correlational. Later I show you what is the example. So far ada question ni, agak ni, boleh ke? Ya,
Okey doktor, boleh doktor.
Okay.
Boleh.
Okay, before design the questionnaire, you of course should take into some consideration your topic, who you want to survey, the type of information that you want, your budget, and then how quickly you need the information at the timeline. Okay, questionnaire design. Okay, you need to have some overview of your questionnaire architecture. Okay. If you have any question, you can ask them. Okay, first, design with purpose and collect with confidence. You need to have some purpose and some objective before you collect the data. The data which means that the questionnaire design I think is important because the quality of data depend on heavily on quality of the question. Like I said, if the question is rubbish, okay, your input also rubbish. Okay. Yeah. In the center, you can see the questionnaire design is described as systematic and structured process. Kat tengah-tengah ni, kita boleh nampak itu ni. Systematic and structured process. Which researcher carefully select appropriate question, format, consider the characteristic, and formulate item with precision and clarity. Okay. And organize the question layout to support accurate and reliable data collection. The first question must be systematic. Systematic questionnaire must follow a careful step-by-step process. The researcher should begin by asking what is the purpose of the study, what information do I need? Who are my respondents? What construct do I want to measure? For example, if you want to measure the construct of feeding or construct of knowledge. Okay, you can search for knowledge construct. Okay. Second questionnaire is design multi-structured. Structured questionnaire is well organized, consistent, and easy to follow. This one is you can arrange logically. Okay, for example, section A may contain demographic information such as gender, age, faculty, and year of study. Section B may measure previous usefulness, and section C may measure the ease of use. Okay, like this. Okay, I can show you the questionnaire example. It's in your pattern. Dalam pattern itu saya dah share dah. This one, example of questionnaire. Okay. If you click the Google document, okay, this one is the structured way. Structured way meaning to say that you have a section A, okay, and then you have a section B, section C. It's very structured. Structured means that you guide the respondent step by step. Ini dia ada section A. Apa yang lack kat sini? What is lack in here? Apa yang lacking kat sini? Dia punya pandangan. Apa yang lack kat sini? Aina, apa yang lack kat sini? Aina Safia, juga. Aisyah, apa yang lack dia? Tak tahu. Like kat sini the question. For example, this one artificial intelligence adoption AIA. They must indicate for this section or for this construct. Okay, they have 5 questions. Okay. Okay. And then we should put here 5 questions. Okay. Because some of the students might missing 5. Need to have 5 questions like that. Okay. Later we see this one. You all ada kita ni depan komputer, itu tak ada depan komputer.
Ada.
Ada.
Ada doktor, ada.
Bukan saya buat nota ni. Yeah. Next is the third question is item marked here. Here written with the principle and clarity. Okay, a respondent should understand each item immediately without needing further explanation. Avoid double barrel question. Double barrel question. For example, how do you feel about AI? That AI tools and AI tools and AI chatbot. Okay, you have two purpose in the same question. Two meaningful based on the one question. The next, using the appropriate question format. Okay, you need to have the appropriate question format. It's basic, appropriate question format. Appropriate question formatting. Okay, The researcher must choose question format that fit the research goal for quantitative research. You can have the Likert scale, commonly 1 to 5. If you using SAM or PLSM, you can have 7. Okay. This format is useful when researcher want to measure perception, attitude, intention, or level of agreement. However, not all questions need to use the scale. Okay, for example, demographic question may use multiple choice format. For example, what is your year of study? Okay, you can have option like year 1, year 3, and year 4. The next component is a survey requirement. We have a survey requirement here. Okay. For the survey requirement, the researcher must consider the characteristics and needs of the survey. For example, the researcher must think about the target respondent, their language ability, their background knowledge. You need to have the pre-pilot study for your questionnaire. If the respondent are undergraduate student, the wording should be simple and direct. If the respondent are lecturer or expert, the questionnaire must use more academic terms, but should still remain clear. Survey requirement also include the length of the questionnaire. Questionnaire is that is too long may cause a respondent boring, bored, and fatigue. Okay, another important component is reliable data collection. So you must have reliable data collection. Yes. What is reliable data collection? A well-designed questionnaire support accurate and dependable results. Which means that the Coromba alpha value of 0.7 and above is commonly considered acceptable for the research purpose. Okay. Now let's take a look at the process at the bottom of the slide. Yang kat bottom ni kamu boleh nampak dia ada beberapa lagi define purpose. You need to define the purpose, objective, design the question, organize the layout, okay, and then collect and analyze it. Ini penting, this one is important. Organize layout means that help respondents to complete the question easily. The question should be arranged in logical and respondent friendly order. Next is 10 steps to good questionnaire design. Okay, first, you need to define the purpose. What is your objective of your research? Okay? And then you need to have objective, and also your research problem must explicit, must be clear and explicit. Okay? For example, if you have 3 objectives and then you have only one research problem, you should acknowledge your research problem, either knowledge gap or methodological gap and so on. Secondly, include questions that direct support to the study objective. You need to have a direct support. Direct support which means that align your questionnaire align with your research objective. Number 3, use a clear wording, okay, and easy to understand sentences. Number 4, each item should focus on one idea, avoid double barrel question. Double barrel question that I said before, if you ask in one question, for example, can you define what is AI and give example of AI? That one is double barrel or double meaning. Number 5 is avoid the jargon. Okay, if you are using education, you can avoid some jargon. And jargon we mean that alien terminology. Okay, for example, if you have a psychology term, you need to explain it clearly to the respondent. Number 6 is choose the right question type. decide between open-ended or closed-ended format. So I showed you what is open-ended and closed-ended. And number 7, you need to arrange the question logically, check flow, instruction, and layout. Okay, you have several layouts, but do not combine more than one layout. For example, if you took the text box and then the other one is a column, okay, do not put more than 2 formatting. And then number 8, you need to collect and analyze, okay, to ensure the data is useful. Okay, and then prepare the summary and conclude the action. Okay, 5 steps in questionnaire design. First, specify what information will be sought. Verify the data needed to address the objective, research objective. Number 2, determine the type of research question, questionnaire, and method of administration. If you use Google Form format, please attach also the participant or respondent consent. And then number 3 is to determine the content of individual question. Okay. Number 4, determine the form of response to each question. And then number 5, determine the wording of each question. Okay. Write simple, clear, and short question. Okay. Do not put a question more than 12 words. You must be put under 12 words. And please avoid problem, avoid should be simple, clear, avoid jargon and vague term, keep each question short. For example, how satisfied are you with the overall usefulness and effectiveness of digital learning system used by your lecturer in this lesson? It's too long. This one is more than 12 words. Okay, better, how useful is the digital learning system used in your course this semester? This one 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, more or less. Okay, use specific question, not the generic question. Why specific question are better? It basically it's more focused and accurate. Number 2, write for particular audiences. Okay, you must use the target group. For example, if you want to search for early childhood from age 4 to 6, you need to have a very specific group target and group sampling. And then write problem with the general question. General question, the respondent may understand it differently. Okay, because it takes some time to open up the terminology dictionary and so on. Answers became less precise and the finding may be harder to be interpreted. To generalize, for example, how do you use technology in teaching? But more specific, how often do you use AI chatbot to support your teaching activities? Okay. Okay. Also, a question should be worded at the appropriate level for respondent. Do not use the professional jargon like it's like UK or US, and then a technical term and abbreviation. Abbreviation, for example, LMS, Learning Management System. Okay. Do not use a complex abbreviation and terminology. Ensure the respondent to ability to answer. Respondent must be able to answer. You need to design the questionnaire in a simple format. And also, you should give ample time to the respondent. Do not force the respondent to answer your question. For example, in 1 day, do not force the respondent to answer in 1 day. Okay, number 2, avoid the difficult recall question. Okay, respondent may or may not recall the question before because in terms of age variation is quite high. Okay, you need to have a simple question. If you want to recall the question before, you need to give them some ideas. Okay, for example, you can give some infographics or pictures. Okay, avoid hypothetical, bias, and leading questions. For example, if you had unlimited time, how do you use AI in your teaching? This one is an example. Okay, a better approach is how do you currently use AI in your teaching? Hypothetical questions can reduce response accuracy because the respondent is not understand what you are asking for. And then avoid bias or leading questions. Okay, for example, do you agree that excellent lecturers should use AI chatbot in class? The natural version, what is your view on using AI chatbot in class? Okay. Be natural, be realistic, and be respectful to your respondent. Okay, other than that, keep the question short and self-contained. Two practical guides. The first one is length of your question. Should not exceed 20, but recommended 12 and below. Okay. Okay, do not rely on the respondent to remember early items. This one I have explained. Okay. Please guide the respondent step by step. Step 1, what they need to do. Step 2, step 3, and so on. In general first, and then after that, you can also record your voices. Or you can give the video first. Okay, the intervention before the respondent answering your research questionnaire. Okay, avoid longer and vague references period. Okay, for example, in the last 10 years, how many times did you attend professional development workshop? Manalah dia nak ingat. How can they remember 10 years ago? It's too long already. Okay. Please bear in mind that your research question is not too long. For example, 12 months, 6 months, 3 months, last month, and so on. These in a specific timeline. Okay. Number 2, prefer recent period such as past year, past month, past week. Okay, avoid question with calculation. Okay. Avoid the calculation seeking question. For example, if a student scored 18, 15, 20, and 17 and 19 in 5 quizzes, what is the average score? That one is not so good. You need to give the respondent some hints, guidance. For example, below 50, 50 to 59. It's simple to understand and simple to remember. And then avoid the double barrel leading and embarrassing question. For example, do you agree that good students should always use AI tools responsibly in learning? That one is not a respectful question. Okay. You need to test first your research questionnaire before submit to the respondent. Next is sequencing of question and type of question in a questionnaire. Sequencing is start with the general to specific. The funnel approach, but the funnel approach might help the respondent to answer. Better you start the question from easy to difficult. This one is also funnel. They have several types of question in questionnaire. First one is open question. Second is closed question. Open question, for example, what challenges do you face when you are using online learning tools? And then closed question, daily, weekly, rarely, and never. Any question? Ada soalan ke?
Okey, Doktor. Okey.
Okey doktor, nanti clear.
Okay, doctor, so I understand.
How do you combine open and closed question? Okay,
Common tak.
yeah. Basically, if you suggested presentation for quantitative, normally we are using closed-ended question 80 to 90%. And then open-ended question 10 to 20%. For explanation, example, suggestion, and deeper understanding. That one is a ratio. For most educational research, I think 85% to closed-ended question. Okay, and then 15% to open-ended question. Okay, for example, if you have 40 items, 54 items is closed-ended item and 6 items is open-ended item. Okay. And then if you are using, if you use questionnaire in your PhD level, 90% closed-ended, only 10% is open-ended. Okay, a simple rule, if your main analysis user SPSS, Jamovi, expert period, amount of cent, keep most of the time closed-ended because open-ended question only at the end of the major section, such as please explain your main reason for using AI. Okay, what suggestion do you have to improve AI chatbot usage in learning, and so on. Okay, make sure if you have if you use quantitative, make sure 80%. 80% is open close question. Okay, boleh. Okay, this one open-ended and close-ended question. Okay, close-ended, how old are you? Based on demographic preferences. Easy to code, easy to enter, and easy to analyze. Okay, if you have open-ended, it's more on the qualitative. Qualitative means that you are entitled to input and decode first. That is more time consuming with the higher detail information. The type of multiple choice question, you can choose this one I explained before. You can choose one or two formatting, but do not choose more than two. For example, if you have a legal skill like this, checklist type like this, or rank order like this, choose let's say legal skill and rating skill. Okay, only two. Okay, then type questionnaire administration. You can choose either electronic or postal. Basically, we have electronic like Google Form or Survey Monkey. And then if you do that, you can use face-to-face or by telephone, by call the respondent. How to obtain the valid information in the questionnaire design. Okay. First, words to be avoided using the questionnaire development, or anybody that ever, every, never. This one better avoid. Another example, do you always observe private side? This one is not the right question to be asked. You need to have better version. Do you usually observe traffic sign? Okay, this one is better. Please be natural. Okay, and use your realistic wordings. Okay, for designing better questionnaire, first we need some instruction. Avoid asking questions beyond respondent capabilities. Make sure you have you draft first your target group. Okay, either for example, if you are targeted on the children, need to have that one. Number two is you need to have a piloting the questionnaire. Okay, you need to test the questionnaire before using it in a full scale of survey. And then number three is final time of the questionnaire, group and sequence question in appropriate order. Number one, number two, number three, and so on. Okay. So this one is okay, how you want to develop effective questionnaire. I also give you some templates if you want to develop your okay. If you want to develop your questionnaire. For example, this one design a good questionnaire step by step. Okay, you can download this one. Boleh download ke? Saya punya nota ni. Okay, we look step by step how you want to develop your questionnaire.
Boleh view je doktor, tak boleh download.
Download. Boleh, you need to
Download yang mana ni?
download yang mana? Download yang ni. Designing a good questionnaire step by step. Boleh lah, you kena login dulu. Tak boleh?
Doktor nak link.
Okey, dah boleh doktor, dah boleh.
Boleh lah. Nak link. Link ada dekat group.
Boleh download.
Link ada dekat group. Okay, kita tengok one by one. Designing a research questionnaire. Okay, first decide whether you need a questionnaire. Okay, if your questionnaire is the right tool, the step below, you need to take it from research question to validated instrument. Okay, first step is specify your construct and operational definition. Okay, for each variable, write a one-sentence operational definition that identify the construct, population, and the time frame. Okay, this one you can copy. You can ask ChatGPT lah. Okay, you can open this one and you can copy to ChatGPT lah. Open up your ChatGPT. Okay, nowadays students are using a lot of ChatGPT. Okay, here, for example, my research title is developing a module for science. Forward and tidak tengok ni lah apa, and then date out the construct, the population, and the time frame. Okay. Okay. For example, this one is to construct AI module and AI module development, student learning performance, and student motivation. Basically, your IB and DB. And then population, science teacher, student in sector education level, and time frame, interventions, switch to craft with. Okay, like this. Okay, you need to really define what is your construct, population, and time frame. Okay, and then after that, decide between adapting existing instrument and writing a new item. Okay, please refer to the design and research questionnaire, the document. If you consult in what you studied and adaptive skill, give you a defensive starting point. Okay, commonly we use the learning and emotive media, including you thought, layer cognitive load, okay, scale for multimedia learning, iGroup design questionnaire, IPQ, and then system usability skill for general usability. System usability skill, you can search from the internet. Can you type measuring usability with system usability skill? Boleh dapat ke? Type dekat Google tu, system usability skill. Okay. Klik kat sini. Okay, this one is measuring, how to measure the S2S. This one, calculator. Okay. Okay. I think I would like to use this self-tutoring. Okay. So, tiga. You first score is 52.5. This score is considered as a score make described as okay. Okay. Okay, nampak ke yang ni? Okay. You can use the system usability scale by John Broke. A total score more than 68 is considered to be average. Okay. In addition, the score that translated to grade A, B, C, D, and F, and approximation of the adjective are specified the work of Bagno, Porter, and Miller. Okay, this one is first score. Okay, for all questions, you need to have a strongly degree. Okay, if the first score is below, I think below 50. Okay, below 50, the score may be described as poor. Okay. You can use any of the questionnaire that you find in the framework. For example, for intrinsic motivation, you can search for IMI questionnaire. Okay, intrinsic motivation inventory. Okay. For example, you want to look the early childhood. Early childhood. Questionnaire. Development questionnaire. This one is okay, we have here name, okay, degree, whether describe your child, okay, just communicating, okay, you need to have several concepts. Boleh? It depends on your study, okay, communicating, listening to storing, reading, and so on. Never, often, sometimes. Nanti kita akan tukar data ni daripada nominal kepada ordinal. Okay ke?
Okay, doktor.
For ordinal and nominal nanti untuk coding, untuk expression nanti saya ajar. For example, if your item for questionnaire is gender, then male or female is nominal. Okay. For example, faculty is nominal. Okay. Ordinal, for example, you go for education level, ordinal. frequency of usage, ordinal, skill, skill level, for example, moderate, high, okay, and low, is ordinal, and so on. Okay, later you need to download the demo movie to learn how to code it. Okay, please download this software demo movie. This one is free. If you go for SPSS also can, but this one is free. You can download for free. Jangan dengar ke demo movie ni? Download for desktop. Later, after that, I show you, I share how to code it. So, question. Pernah download ke sebelum ni?
Tak pernah.
Tak pernah doktor.
Right. The movie is
Tak pernah.
another version of SPSS. Free. This one free. If you want to pay, you pay on me lah. Bayar kat saya. Kalau nak bayar juga, bayar kat saya je. Free. You can download this one. Later, I think on week 7, we learn how to code it. Next is, we have construct, we have population, and we have time frame. And then refer back to your guidance. Two practical points, okay, and then write the aim, choose your response format, okay, and then sequence and structure. Okay, for this one, you can say identify, construct, and build plan. Okay, later your questionnaire is based on construct. Okay, here we have AI model usability, AI student learning performance, student motivation. Okay. So we have three suggested measurement, student perception questionnaire, pre and test score perceived learning for student performance, and motivation questionnaire like IMI, intrinsic motivation inventory. Okay, we have suggested a 5-Likert scale. Okay. The questionnaire 10 is basically we divided into the construct. For example, AI module usability, the module is easy for me to use during science training. Okay. So what is the positive and negative questionnaire? In questionnaire, positive and negative refer to the question that you ask. For example, perceived usefulness. AI chatbot helped me to complete academic tasks more efficiently. Negative feedback is negative construct. AI chatbot do not help me to improve my academic tasks. But in your construct, please use the negative construct only 5 to 10%. Why? Because it will affect your correlation. Do not use negative question. Negative question, for example, positive is I am satisfied with AI chatbot for my learning. Negative item is I feel is satisfied when using a chatbot for my learning, why use negative item to reduce the bias, to reduce the bias, to especially to test the respondent attention, and then to balance the item. Okay, but be careful, negative item can be causes a lot of problems. Okay. For example, if you use the negative item, there is still need to do the reverse coding before implemented some analysis. For example, if the original source is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you need to decode back 1 to 5, 2 to 4, 3 to 3, 4 to 2, and 5 to 1. Why? Because if the strongly agree is equivalent to 5, after reverse coding, the score will be 1. Okay, that's why for negative question, I think for the good implementation, you are able to use 10 to 20% only. Boleh ke ni? Negatif dengan positif punya question. Azbantul boleh ke? Azbantul?
Ya, boleh doktor.
Yang ni jangan banyak sangat buat negatif nanti you kena decode bila buat signifikan nanti semua tak signifikan sebab you kena leceh dia ada prosedur dia. Okay, after you find out all of this, you can have a linear construct grouping. Item 1, 2, 3 is AI module usability. Construct 2, student learning performance 4, 5, 6, 7, and construct student motivation in item 8, 9, and 10. Okay, this one it depend on your construct is depend on your research question, and research question is aligned with your research objective. For example, in my Padlet I have explained. Dalam Padlet ni saya dah ni question and okay, this one for example okay, this one is a linear PhD question. Okay, the first survey on the impact of ICT support services. They have gender, they have age, they have races, department, courses, reason to join, and study mode. And then section B is factors that contribute to impact of ICT. Okay, this one you need to filter. Okay, this one is basically based on the construct. Okay, education quality and accessibility, the factor that environmental of learning. Okay, the question is different. This one is quite same. 5, 5, 5, 5, 6. Okay. Then and then we can say this one basically this one if you use the descriptive. Descriptive, and you can have the percentage. And then study mode again, descriptive analysis like this. Okay, normally we have a standard derivation error. Okay, and then we have independent variable. Okay, and then we have dependent variable and so on. Teaching and learning process is the treatment. Okay, we have one summary item. This one quality and accessibility of the education. We have a Alpha. very high lah. Okay. Question 1 until question 5. The standard deviation is normally 0.5 and above. Okay. Any question? Is it okay? Kita nampak ni yang saya tunjuk.
Okey je, doktor.
Yang okay ni nanti kamu buat chapter 1 to 3 until 5 tak betul this one is important to have some ideas. Okay, and then this one is step by step for questionnaire. I have a 51 item. And define construct, define the respondent profile. Okay, we need to have some profiling. Okay, and then choose the administration mode. Okay, this one I have included. Kamila Devi, are you having a late supper?
Sir?
Tengah makan ke?
I just came for my prayer.
Okay.
Still waiting.
Okay. Okay, I think that's all for tonight. I give you all the notes for questionnaire. Later, I give you how you want to go for chapter 2. Okay, chapter 2. Where to why you need to drafting chapter 2. Okay, I have the site. I think next week I will go for chapter 2. Okay, guys, I think that's all for tonight. I will take the recording later in the YouTube.